Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How you doing? How you doing? All I wanted for Christmas was 3 points and some exciting football instead. Woo. Head down, head up. Where the hell is Newcastle? It's up there, sir. It's north of Manchester even. It's on the coast. It looked wet. They were in full voice today, but either way, what we got today was barely a point. Hanging on at times, ugly stuff. So I don't think this whole squad is going to make it under Ralph Rangnick. How are we feeling?
Sir, I'll tell you what, we hope everyone had a great holiday here from the American Red Devils. You had the Elves working overtime in the North Pole, and the American Red Devils are going to be working overtime at the Excuse Factory, sir. Get that machine going. COVID outbreak, fitness, new manager, sir. Give it time. You can't expect. Here we go. Excuse Factory all day long. What a horrible performance. We looked disjointed. We looked like we had a COVID outbreak. We looked like we recently fired our manager and haven't been able to train with the new one. Reverting to Ole ball. We saw it against Norwich, sir. It's just this tough. I don't know what the solution is. You got to be looking at the players a little bit, but then they get the excuse of the COVID outbreak. So you kind of have to chop this one up of, hey, it was a tough watch. We go again. Fixtures are coming thick and fast. We got Burnley on Thursday, sir. I don't know what to do. I just hope we can start playing some attractive football because it's been too long.
It's been too long. I mean, the sentiment from the two of us was this early and often. I'm figuring it.
I wouldn't even let him on the bus after the match. I get a taxi back to Manchester.
There's a lot of blame to be pointed. I think the excuses that you pointed out are valid ones. And whether I'm going to lean heavy or light into the excuse factory remains to be seen this early in the pod, sir. Probably heavy, because I do tend to agree with you, but at the same time, I think certain players, there's probably some damage.
Some of the passing is fucking scratchy.
Fucking scratchy, right? Opportunities that should have been had in this game, they were there to be taken. Fred in the first half, but Rashford didn't look good. Ronaldo looked out of sorts. Our boy Bruno was giving the ball away left, right, and center. We just looked totally out of sorts. Whether it was COVID, holidays, new manager, of course, changed Ole. Sort of some of the worst of Ole ball. Some of them even worse than that. Just like we looked like we had nothing going. And then the St. James Park crowd getting the most of the United today. We just looked frustrated. So it was a tough performance, tough to watch. It was brutal, to be honest. Brutal.
No, and they're wearing the Manchester United shirt, repping the Manchester United badge. And so we've talked about it so many times before. You were rewatching Paul Scholes scores goals highlights. I mean, the moments that we've seen this team have. And right now we're in no man's land. Like I said, we played horrible under Ole. He was fired. Sorry for smiling. Now we're on to Ralph Rangnick. He comes in, he gets a week, and then COVID outbreak. We haven't played for 15 days. You don't know who actually had COVID, so you don't know who's that out of shape. You don't know whether fitness is an issue. We have no clue what's going on behind the scenes from sort of the who trained, who didn't, who just got back in the team. Rashford might have had it, just got back in the team. Greenwood might have been fine. He looked great. There's a lot of different reasons for why the performance looked disjointed. But when you look at this roster and you look at these players wearing that badge, you expect them to fight a lot harder. At the time, sir, Newcastle away, and Newcastle, we were there for the taking. They came after us wave after wave. Credit to them, honestly. I will say credit to Newcastle. They should have done this again. We've had issues with them, despite them being one of the worst teams in the Premier League. For some reason, we're that team. When we show up, everyone's getting at us. We can't shake this off our back. Everyone's just coming for 3 points against us, no matter how bad. It was tough against Norwich. And the worst part, sir, we are not creating chances. Our midfield's non-existent. Our defense is shaky. David De Gea, got to give him a huge shout out. Unbelievable. Should have been 3-1 Newcastle. What a save from De Gea. He keeps showing up. I'm pumped for him at the very least. We should be glad taking a point here, given everything that's gone down in the last 2 weeks. Take a point and let's beat Burnley.
No, I mean, okay. There's part of that's, hey, I would play Burnley, which is that's gonna be a slugfest. Woo! Is that going to be? At least we're playing at Old Trafford, but even still, they always make it tough. You have to wrap it up to some of the things that you've discussed, right? We don't even know the state of the affair at all. How much certain players have trained, how much certain players have not, who was sick, who wasn't.
How much time have they had with the manager?
How much have they had with the manager? How much training have they gotten? So it's like Rashford looked woeful at times. So did Bruno. But we have no idea the context. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I'll take the point. Newcastle, honestly, you'd say that they probably should have had 3, but at the end of the day, it's a point. We didn't lose. On to the next one. It's Thursday. It's at home. I would imagine he's going to switch things up and play some of the kids, because what we've heard about Ralph and this man is that he likes to see what the youth is all about. Alonga already with some news coming in this week that he signed his first big pro contract. So hopefully he gets a chance to feature. But either way, a chance to right the wrong. I think the only thing we can do right now is play ourselves into form, play ourselves into Rangnick ball. There's no other option, because games are coming. So Thursday, Monday, let's go.
I don't think we
Big
can play
matches.
ourselves into Rangnick ball because we don't have the time to
kind
get
of
the
ball.
fitness. We don't have the time with the new manager. This is I'm putting out an APB, sir. This is a stop the bleeding situation for Manchester United. You look at how horrible we were playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We come in, he gets one solid first half. Like when Ole came in post Mourinho, we got that big bounce. Rangnick came in, we got one half against Crystal Palace, and since then it's been rough. And COVID has a big role to play in that. But right now, with these fixtures coming thick and fast, I can't imagine Burnley we're going to look a lot better. I can't imagine by the weekend or the next Monday we're going to look a lot better. So this is kind of a hold situation. Rangnick needs to get in there. It's the messy surgery right now at Manchester United, and we got to focus on getting results no matter how bad it looks. As far as seeing this amazing Gengen press, that's months off. You got to give him at least 2-3 months to try to implement some sort of style, because we're reverting to that Ole ball, negative, inviting pressure, midfield getting pushed back, like creating spaces, sir. It was a rough watch. We can go on and on about it, but at the end of the day, you got to say, hey, look, we got a point. That's better than 0. It was a rough watch. And you said it. The hardest part is you haven't had football for 15 days. You had the holiday. You expect United, like Arsenal's looking good. Chelsea's looking good. Shitty's looking good. Everyone is like kind of hitting their stride. And United just, were, I
just waiting for our chance to catch up and just like bottling it, sir. Like you said, I was watching all of the goals that Paul Scholes scored at Manchester United during his esteemed career. And they're like, my sister and mom who were visiting, they're like, wow, he scored a lot of goals.
They were
scored
really
a lot
good.
of goals, sir. And
They
our
were really
team,
good.
we were really good. We were starting 93, 94, I think until 13, sir. That was a hell of a period for this club. And it's not crisis mode yet because of all the things you talked about, the COVID squad break,
No, it's a
players
tall
out,
order.
new manager. Like you said, this is a double black diamond scenario. And right now we are just trying to hold the line. We have to just see if we can get some results, get some wins. Burnley, another team in the bottom. They're fighting for their lives, and they're going to be tough as nails to play. We know we've played them before. They're always a pain in the ass to play, and especially with a team like us who doesn't have a lot of confidence, a little bit out of sorts, trying to find their identity. So hopefully we can cobble it together, sir, because today it was piss poor at times. But, dude, can we go off from here?
I was encouraged by the halftime subs from the manager.
like that.
Fred had to go. I actually thought Greenwood played well. Rashford, I would have liked to get pulled. A lot of different dynamics, but like you said, as fans, this is a very challenging time for fans of Manchester United. We come in, we think we're going to win the title. Our manager was just like axed. Manchester United legend at that just got absolutely kicked out the door. Then all of a sudden we're like, who's our manager? We have no idea. Carrick somehow put together some semblance of a run, and then we get Rangnick interim, not even the actual manager, which is, it makes no sense. He should just be the manager. So this is a double black diamond for every single person involved, and it all runs from the top, sir. I just don't think we have confidence. If you look at this roster and how this is put together, and you look at how Rangnick's getting his staff in piecemeal throughout the holidays and then the COVID situation, this is a complete dumpster fire that is everything that Eddie Woodward and the Glazers leave us for Christmas morning at Manchester United. But look, quick PSA for the podcast, sir. We can whinge all day. Everyone knows this hashtag Glazers out every single day at the American Red Devils podcast. If you want to support the American Red Devils and independent fan content, you can check us out on Patreon. This is the best way to support us in 2021, sir. It's almost 22, but essentially we don't have any private sponsorships. It's just me and Alex doing our thing. We do everything at the American Red Devils. We actually pack and ship the merch. We run the blog. The fans write the articles. We do every single thing here at the American Red Devils, and that's why we believe in doing it ourselves, doing it the right way, and not hawking anything you've heard on every other podcast you listen to. If you want to support us on Patreon, we have 4 tiers. Give away pins, stickers, scarves, shirts, you name it. It's a great community. We're doing our behind-the-scenes episode for this month of December. We do one every month. Check it out, www.patreon.com/AmericaRedDevils. Also, check out our website. I mentioned it. We have amazing fan-generated blog content, www.americareddevils.com, and we have some great merchandise there as well. If you click on store, scarves, beanies, hoodies, everything for the winter. The blankets are fire as well. Pick something up. Everything goes to support us directly making this podcast. Give me that biased fan take from the couch, sir. Tell them about iTunes reviews.
Sir, Glazers out always. That's why you support the America Red Devils. Keep us fan supported. So a great way to do it is to check out the store like you mentioned. That blanket, it's flying off the shelves. It's cold here. I don't know where you guys are listening from. If you're in Singapore, I just sent some merch there. It's probably not cold, but it's cold here. Get yourself a blanket. Get yourself a knitted hat. Great way to support the pod. Another great way to support the pod. Write a 5-star review on iTunes. All you have to do, write a 5-star review on iTunes. Send a screenshot to americaredevils@gmail.com.
How many stars?
5 stars. 5 stars, sir. If it's got cheeky banner, even better. I'll personally send you something from the pod room extension, the bunker, aka the garage, sir. Great way to support the pod. And it's a great way for us to get found organically. So are you ready to break down Newcastle 1, Manchester United 1? What a classic game. I'm going to rewatch this tonight.
So let's get into that starting lineup. Boy, when I saw this, I was encouraged. And after the first 15, I was not. World number 1, Dave Saves in net. Tellis left back, Maguire, Varane back in the lineup. You love to see that. Delo right back, Fred McTominay midfield, Rashford on the left, Fernandes on the right, sir. Ronaldo and Greenwood up top in the 4-2-2-2. On the bench, interesting, we have to mention him because of COVID. We had Hendo, Jones, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Van de Beek, Cavani, Elanga, and Sancho. That might give us an idea of who we could see at Burnley. Sir, what do you think of that lineup?
Sir, when I saw this 11, it was great to see Varane back. It's been long. Obviously, Cavani on the bench was good to see, and I was like, hey, let's go, boys. And instead, we had some bad eggnog. Looks like the crew looked like they had like a hell of a holiday.
Well, sir, they were dealing with the holiday and a COVID outbreak. I'm sure that creates a lot of anxiety for their families as well. That's something you don't really think about, like having to stay at home, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this is just some things with Manchester United at the moment that you have to question, can you really be up for the match if you are dealing with this COVID outbreak? 15 days, no football, sir. We were dying for it, and boy, did we get Cole for Christmas. Jumping into the first half, United come out slow, difficult. It's just everything was difficult. Passing, getting the ball back after losing it. A poor Newcastle side, sir. And then we can just jump right in to the 7th minute. Saint Maximin.
And still Saint Maximin. That's what they love here. A maverick. And a magnificent maverick at that. In the very best traditions of the great entertainers that Newcastle strive to be, Alain Saint-Maximin takes his bow.
Wow, what a goal. I mean, this guy can do anything on his day. We know that. The fans love him. He's so unpredictable. He comes inside. You know he's going to come on his right foot. And Maguire, they let him go across.
How did he get it? I mean, like, rewatching this goal, the toughest part about it is he got across Delo and Maguire. Why isn't Maguire just like... You got to be a little more physical there. It's just unbelievable. Look, hell of a shot. Credit to Saint Maximin, but again, we've seen shy defending from United. You got to be looking at your 80 million pound man there, Harry Maguire. He's got to be doing better.
Got to be doing better. No excuses. Great goal from St. Maximin, but shouldn't be allowed to make the shot in the first place.
Exactly.
And this is the last thing you want to do at a packed St. James Park at 8 o'clock local time where everybody is absolutely pissed. And all of a sudden, dude, the crowd was just like electric.
It was.
It made it so much more difficult to play after they scored this goal.
33rd minute, Bruno puts in a ball that the goalie swings and misses, but Ronaldo makes a meal of it. Again, some opportunities, not a lot. We just, for some reason, it felt very, the whole Fred McTominay, again, we've seen it. They're dropping too deep. We have no midfield. We're overrun. Newcastle is sort of, have all the opportunities. They have they were doing the Gegenpress to us to start the game. Then we kind of got back into it with this 33rd minute chance. 38th minute, Newcastle score again, but they're well off. Newcastle score again, but they are well offsides. Or Callum Wilson. Again, the game was going in this direction.
It was going in this direction, but United just didn't look confident when we had the ball. And we, the slow kind of sideways stuff, which we've seen under Ole. But what also we've seen under Ole is the ability to counter effectively with pace and precision. And you know what? We haven't seen that in a while. And we have seen that with these players, though. And there were opportunities in this game. In the final third, Fred gave it away a couple times. We had a chance to break. Bruno did. Rashford was selfish with the ball. Ronaldo was selfish with the ball. He had a couple chances where he should have given it to someone in the box, and instead he swung and whiffed. So we just I basically want to chuck it up to all excuses we kind of marked entering the pod, because we just looked. It was brutal. This was brutal. This was brutal to watch.
The problem with Ole was we got 4 amazing attacking players, and we can't get the ball to them, and we can't. There's no semblance of a build-up. The middle of the park is wide open. Newcastle's overrunning us, and it just creates these types of situations where we can't create sustained chances. And Newcastle is seeing opportunities like the 38th minute, 44th minute. Bruno has a tame shot saved, but Ronaldo was offside. I mean, this was probably the best opportunity for United in the first half with Ronaldo being off. That's it. First half, I just said, you know what? We'd be lucky. I think before the Newcastle opportunity in the 38th minute, I said we'd be lucky to get in only down 1 at this point. They're just running riot.
Well, they're running riot. The home crowd was it's a factor. You have to say it's a factor, and we just look like shit. Look like shit. We haven't played good football in a long time, and that's what, dude. At least when we were in that Ole fits and starts, we had it in us where you'd see all right, well, we go down, we come back electric. We had none of that today. It was there was none of that final edge. Even Cavani, he had some swings and misses. He could have had a hat trick, if he was kind of on his normal Cavani thing. So we just all looked out of sorts. So let's get in that second half.
Normal Cavani thing. Double sub Cavani and Sancho for Fred and Greenwood. This had some oomph from Ralph. Although I think Greenwood was the best player. He had an early ball into Ronaldo. That could have been a goal. Missed him by, a yard. I really thought that he should have stayed on, and Rashford should have been the one to come off. Fred had a rough first half.
Fred was the one, too.
Yeah, Fred was the one. But that was the whole thing. It's Fred was the guy who had to make the through ball into Ronaldo. He's the one who had to open up the game for United, and he couldn't. And then he drops Bruno back. I thought this is the chance for Donny to come in to be that player. Keep Greenwood on. Maybe put Cavani on for Rashford. I just thought there was other moves he could have made here.
It might be a fitness thing. It might be a fitness thing. Greenwood.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know behind the scenes. I liked the move. I just didn't exactly think Bruno was the guy, and he wasn't, because he struggled back there. 47th minute, Dave saves. David De Gea coming up big, earning those wages. Can't say that more about him this year. I mean, he's going to be our player of the year again. 55th minute, Cavani hits a great Sancho cross. Again, a little rust here. Cavani, this is usually on target.
That's a goal. That's normally Eddie Cavani special.
63rd minute, big save from David De Gea. And then the 71st, sir, finally the breakthrough, Eddie Cavani. Get that bow and arrow out.
Dallo, Cavani, and a second time Cavani. Behind after 7 minutes, level after 70. And it's the veteran Uruguayan Edinson Cavani with the rescue act.
Well, I've got to say it's been a bit cruel on Newcastle. Man United have been well below par. And the top man, Fernandes, again. Great ball out to the right. And it's a great, to be fair, it's a great pullback. Cavani reacts off the rebound.
Look, he ain't going anywhere, by the way. I mean, people want to say he's going to go to Barcelona. We can't afford to get rid of Edinson Cavani because, he's just got that grit. He's always in front of goal, doesn't give up on the second chance, gets it in, and look what it means to him. He's got that grit. I love Eddie Cavani. Should not be dealing him to Barca.
No, because right now the goalposts have shifted officially. It's all about top 4 and just assembling together whoever is going to make it under Ralph going forward, or Ralph and whoever comes in. Maybe there's a new manager. I think we should stick with Ralph for a year and a half. Give him a go, right? You have to just give him a go, but we'll see. But all I'm saying is, goalposts have shifted. He should not be moving. Martial, Cavani's scoring goals still. He looks a little rusty, but when he comes back into form, Cavani's a dangerous player.
No, but his
that you want on your
movement.
team, has the energy. He's a Ralph player, dude, and he plays well with Ronaldo. So there's no way you get rid of him.
Absolutely. 76th minute, Cavani goes close again. Probably should have scored. And then 78th, we had a sub, Matic on for McTominay. Matic looked okay coming on. I don't think he helped us get forward. If we're going for the win, obviously, McTominay looked like he had an injury. That seems what it was like for from the manager. I can sort of understand that. 88th minute, United.
No, I'm sorry, Newcastle.
Newcastle United. This one, sir, this is when the 3 points were saved. Hit the post, and then Almiron had an amazing hit. De Gea, a world of a save. I mean, the amount of saves you can call out from De Gea this game, Newcastle easily could have 3 or 4. That is even, fans are right to be upset because this wasn't sort of a, even match. This was us like hanging on for dear life against one of the worst teams in the league. And so you try to do the math, the EPL math, where you're like, Arsenal beats Norwich 5-0. We barely squeak by with a penalty, but we. Sorry, it's just like where like Newcastle sucks.
Ready for Burnley? Ready for Burnley?
Nothing makes sense about this team at the moment. And good luck, Ralph. If you need another assistant manager on the touchline, you can give me a ring. I'm available. 94th minute, United gifted a late chance to win it when Dubravka drops the ball, but Sancho dinks instead of passing it to Ronaldo. I know Cavani did the chip. Sancho got the ball, passed to Cavani. Cavani chipped it. I thought Ronaldo was open there. You can't complain. I mean, we could have stolen it. Ronaldo again at the death here. But we were lucky to get away with 1 point. 1-1, sir. As messy of a match recap you could have all over the board. United just not looking good today.
No, it was an ugly match. It was not what everybody was looking forward to. The lull. A lot of games being had. The holidays make everybody excited, rather than nothing else doing.
A lot of other good games. A lot of teams winning big.
Games.
Like
Dude, City looking like a fucking machine.
And we're just like back to watching
Even
shit
Arsenal,
football
Jesus
against bad opposition.
We look terrible.
Look, we understand.
New manager.
As far as this game concerns, it's in the bag, sir. Shots on target. Newcastle have 8. We have 4. That's the stat you need to know. We had 70% of the ball, nothing doing. It was a rough one, but as a fan, there's 38 games. And some of the games, you just gotta, when you were a kid, you didn't want to eat the vegetables, but you had to.
This is a broccoli match.
You had to eat the vegetables to get to the dessert, sir. This is that you're eating your veggies here. You're eating 1 point away. Newcastle, you got to take it and move on. You can complain all day, but this time it's time to move on, sir. It's just got to put it in the bag. Speaking of moving on, we had Gary Neville weigh in on Monday Night Football here. He was calling out the boys. I thought it was a little harsh, but, Gary knows much more about the game than us, so we got to hear what he has to say here on Monday Night Football.
70% of the attacks from Newcastle in the first half an hour down that left-hand side, which Alan Saint-Maximin has been operating in. But in some ways, that goal sum up that first half from Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go overboard. In the sense that they've been off for 16 days. They've obviously got a new manager. They're trying to get used to a new system. The balance of the team isn't right. But I was worried after Norwich. There's no pressing. There's no urgency. The basics of the game. Every single battle they've lost, that's been a really poor performance, that. Honestly, that's a really poor performance. There's not one single thing has gone right as a team. They've not done one single thing right, and there's not one single player can go in at half-time and say that they've done the jobs or even done themselves justice.
See any positives at this stage?
Nothing. Absolutely. Honestly, I can't say anything other than the fact that they've not had 16 days without a game. There's potentially some sort of reason there, but I'm not really looking at that, to be honest with you, because there's still basics of the game that you can do properly, which is win your battles, go in for tackles properly, show a little bit of urgency, look like it matters. They're whinging at each other. A bunch of whinge bags. They're a bunch of whinge bags. Watch them on that pitch. I'm not going to go into the names of it. Honestly, they're whinging at each other. Their arms are up in the air. They're sort of complaining about everything. Honestly, they're absolutely shocking out there in that first half. And to be honest with you, they got the last manager the sack.
He's so happy.
And Ralph Rangnick's not going to get the sack.
Look how happy
he's only had 2 or 3 weeks with them. But they'll get a lot of managers to sack that lot if they carry on like that, because that was a really, really poor performance. And it's only 45 minutes, but they've got to sort themselves out because it's massively below.
All right, whinge bags, that's going to go on the soundboard for sure, sir. We say whinging all the time. Jamie Carragher, like, smiling, like, laughing.
Ear to ear, bro.
Ear to ear, just like, all right.
Having a great fucking time.
So we're doing it live here on the pod here. We're going to try to get Rangnick's post-match presser. Let's see what our manager thought of that performance.
Point, but was it a performance that you didn't particularly like?
No, I didn't like it at all. As I said, we were trying to get better in controlling games. Today we didn't control the game, apart from very few moments at all. It's all about energy, about physicality, and who wins the second balls. What about the transitional moments? And in all those areas, we were not at our best today. In the end, we got a point. That's the good thing, but the performance overall needs to get better.
So all those areas you've just listed, how do you get them better?
I mean, against Palace we were better, but that was a different game. We played at home. Now we had two away games against Norwich and here at Newcastle. And it's about, as I said, it's about physicality, it's about energy. You have to be ready and able to win those direct duels. This was not that often the case. And even when we were in possession of the ball, we had too many giveaways, including the goal that we conceded. And if you're after 7 minutes, one goal down here at St. James's Park, it doesn't make things easier.
All right, we have a solemn Rangnick. Not smiling and not saying it was a good performance. Not saying he saw a lot of good things. So, you're not getting the Ole Mr. Nice Guy. You're getting the, the Wreck-It Ralph, unhappy Ralph, hard man to please Ralph. That's literally.
Let's keep with that one.
But it's true. He's saying it wasn't good and he didn't like it. And I appreciate the frankness from the manager, and hopefully that rings true in the locker room. The real thing is you got to look at the players and situation. That dressing room, those players out there, like the whinge bag comment from Gary Neville is true. Is that a team that's working together? Or is that some individuals? And right now, Martial chirping, Paul Pogba, where are you at? It sounds like we got a bunch of individuals in this locker room. And
they weren't even on the field, those two.
I know, but you know what Sir Alex did with players who even got close to being like, Martial's talking openly that he wants to leave the club. He'd be gone. That just isn't a good mentality. Jesse Lingard, so many loose ends around this locker room. It can't be good for the psyche of United. And I think Ralph is realizing this is going to be a tough task. This is not going to be easy to turn it around here.
No, I think that is what you saw in his face. Is like that's
not. Yeah.
That's the face of worry. Like, oh, this is going to be a big job, and like half these guys that started on the pitch today aren't going to make it, including probably some big name players. Dude, I don't know. I mean, I think what he saw today is like the same players that got a couple managers fired are probably not going to make it, including some big names, sir. So it's going to be a long road. We have said some bad things about how long that road might be. It might be a long one. But right now, this season might be a long one. So hopefully we can just muster something together for a tough match. Thankfully, at home. Thankfully, in front of some fans. Because we need 3 points, bro. Because everybody else in front of us is not letting up. Look at first place. Look at all those green checkpoints.
Watching the match with Alex, when we say full Muppet on the couch, Alex is shouting the referee, yelling about everything. Like,
yelling at the fans.
He's the most biased person
ever
in the world, possibly.
Club.
Like every call is the wrong way. Everything is wrong. Like he picks out every player on the other team and explains why he doesn't like them, why they're no good, why they're time wasted, why every challenge is a yellow for Newcastle.
If they're not playing United, I have no hard feelings against any of these players. I'm sure they're all good guys. I have no problem. But they played United. I hate every one of them.
Even the first half, Alex is like, it should be 2-1 United. He's like, we should
terrible.
be winning.
And then I started realizing actually we're just
and I have to be like, sir,
it got worse and worse.
I'm like, sir, we are very bad today. You're like still like it should.
Couldn't
we
even
should
pick
be
out
winning.
a pass.
I gotta give you credit.
I gotta give you credit.
You're just like number one Muppet on the couch.
I can't say that. I love this club.
I know. It's a tough time all around, and
I expect a lot more. Here I am sitting at home watching like 140 Scholes goals, just banging in unbelievable goals for team after team under the same manager, but like there were a lot of different teams that he was a part of, sir. And we always had one consistent thing, which was that they worked their fucking ass off. And today I didn't see much of that. And maybe that's because of the COVID outbreaks. So I want to give it a kind of a wash. But that was worrying. Something like we looked like we couldn't be we couldn't be bothered, sir. And that's worrisome. And I think you saw a little bit of that in Ralph's face in the presser, which is worrisome.
No, we talked about it on the pod, and for those who listen to us, it's mentality
always,
and we do not have it. We do not have that edge. We get bullied, our heads go down. Like Harry Maguire is Harry Maguire, 80 million pound man, and he lowers his head and talks really solemnly in the press. I don't know, that's Roy Keane ain't doing that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be calling people out. You got to be making a big challenge. You got to be stepping up in big spots, back against the wall. That dog's got to come out, and in some moments we will. We don't have that mentality. Like I said, I see a collection of individuals out there looking at the table. Shitty running. Shit, 19 games, 47 points. Scouse Basters, the two teams you would not like to see up there. 41 points to 18 played. Chelsea, 19 games played, 41 points. And then you have the Gunners, dude.
I know.
19 games, 35 points.
4 on the trot.
Spursy, 16 games, 29. West Ham, 18 games, 28. Manchester United, 17 played, 28 points, right? So if you were to catch us up to the Gunners and we were to win both of those games, we would be at 34 points. We'd be 1 point behind them. So assuming we could win both games in hand, we would still be in 5th place, showing you that dropping those 2 points and having a miserable performance away at Newcastle, an easy game. We looked at these fixtures. These are all winnable. He could come in. He could go on a run. We could turn it around. And it doesn't look like it's going that direction. Right now, it looks like we're bouncing that dead cat off the floor. So we keep going down. We're hitting new lows. And let's try to break it with Burnley, sir. That's right. There's always a next match. We can whinge as much as we want, but we're playing Burnley Thursday, December 30th, 12:15 Pacific, 3:15 Eastern, sir. These kickoffs are nice. Last game of the year. Can we make it a win?
We're going to need to, sir. It's a big match. It's important. It's going to be an ugly slugfest. And right now we need to start getting results. And we need to start getting them fast, because what we've been seeing hasn't been good enough. And it's been that of a mid-table side, sir. And top 4 is going to be very much make or break in terms of how this team's going to look, with or without it, because Ronaldo, make or break. We don't make top 4.
I don't even think we're worried. At this point, I'm not worried about top 4. I'm worried about us getting our shit together.
Right now, it looks toxic. It looks like the infighting. Like there is infighting. Like Ronaldo and Rashford and Bruno.
Something's off.
Like players yelling at each other. Like there was that element that a former player that's not that far removed, a la Neville, calling out and seeing, bro. He saw it. We saw it. It's like something right now is a little toxic and off in the dressing room, and I don't know what it is, but dude, Ralph has got a fucking project.
I think
he's got a big project ahead of him, sir.
His body language says it all.
No, he does. There might be something rotten afoot, and it's going to take a while. So, hey, Burnley, it's going to be a tough slugfest of a match.
So
sir.
wait, we're not winning the title this year.
No,
is what
not.
you're saying?
No, we're not winning.
We're not winning.
Probably not winning F-all.
All right.
Sorry.
Sean Dyche, he'll have his team come out hot. Lifetime versus Burnley, the Builders, sir. We call him here on the podcast. We've won 64, drawn 23, lost 45. First time we played 1892 Newton Heat versus Burnley. We drew in the first division, sir. If you know your history, last 5 against Burnley, we've won 3, lost 1, drawn 1. With the latest being we beat them 3-1, sir. Burnley's form coming into this game, last 5, they drew Chelsea. They drew Crystal Palace. They drew Wolves. Newcastle got the best of them, and then they drew West Ham. Burnley is grinding draws against big-time opposition, sir. They're going to defend well. They're going to be organized. They're going to fight with everything they got against Manchester United. And their last game, December 12th. They are well-rested. COVID outbreak being the reason. I don't know if that helps or hurts. Again, we don't know a lot of what's going on because there's not a lot of it being disclosed in the press as far as what players got infected, etc. So who knows? But we're Manchester United. We're playing in front of the 70,000 faithful Old Trafford. We should be smacking Burnley all over the pitch. But right now, sir, we're shaking our boots.
We're shaking our boots because the team is just like far from confidence, and worse than that, it's like if there's toxicity or fighting, that is not productive, sir. So it's hopefully that's just a flare up. Hopefully that's just frustrations. Maybe some more of that bad eggnog showing its face, sir. Excuse back the right. Press it.
Sir, question for you. If Ralph is the manager, not interim, do you think there's like a little more calmness about Old Trafford because there's not such a rush for him to sort of put everything back together? It's like, okay, I'm the manager. I have this season to sort it out, and then it's sort of go on next year versus now he's like trying to fix it on the short-term basis. I think that kind of plays into it because it might make him a little more rash as well as the players not really knowing where they stand with the new manager.
Sir, I think probably, and I think like the general lack of aptitude at the top, it doesn't give a lot of confidence to the players in this club, bro. I think like the players know this is a poorly run club and they see it every fucking day. And I don't think it gives a lot of confidence to them, dude. So like, yes, the fact that they're like, oh, he's looking at interim until I figure, basically they're just seeing how it goes. And if he does well, they're going to make him the man. And if he doesn't, they'll just change and see what else is out there, which I get. But
Ralph Rangnick is not a day trader. He's come in to fix you short term. He's not a Conte.
And we need a kind of
He is a long term builder. He's like a Burnley the builder, sir. He builds clubs. You give him the Legos, sir, he builds it.
Brick by brick.
He doesn't do it fast. He does it slow over time. And probably as an executive, it's going to be interesting how Woodward and Co. bottle this one, because they probably will. History, Burnley, they were founded in May 1882. They were one of the first to become professional, sir. They started paying their players before everyone. That was a big controversy in the FA back in the late 1800s. And they put pressure on the FA to permit payments to players, sir, instead of doing all the match fixing that went on back in the day. LOL. The club entered the FA Cup for the first time in 85-86. That's 1885 and 1886, and was one of the 12 founding members of the Football League in 1888/89 season. From the 1950s until the 70s, under Chairman Bob Lord, the club became renowned for its youth policy and scouting system and was one of the first to set up a purpose-built training ground. You know, for all those who don't know the history, there used to be no subs. People used to be getting hammered. They didn't really care about physical fitness.
He's not talking about like physicality. He used to be like hammered drunk.
Yeah, exactly. And Burnley, they've been champions of England twice in 2021 and 59-60. They've won the FA Cup once in 13-14. Kind of similar to when we were coming up in the game. And they've won the FA Charity Shield twice in 60 and 73. They have some history, sir. They play at Turf Moor. We like to call it Turf Moor. They've been playing there since 1883. Sean Dyche, their manager, I rate him quite a bit. He's got that grit. He knows how to build a team. I've listened to a few interviews with him on sort of how he does it behind the scenes. He's a stand-up dude. And I really like his approach to management. They are going to play hard. They're going to play tough. So Burnley is going to be, if you thought Newcastle was tough, we have the fans. We're playing at home. So hopefully, you know, that energy, the players can get a good start in the first 20, score a goal, and kind of on from there.
Burnley is the modern day Stoke City. Like when we grew up watching Manchester United, Burnley was kind of like, Stoke was the team that like, go into their ground. It's obviously it was on the water. It was like pissing rain and really windy, but also the physicality that they would bring to the game. Burnley are cut from the same cloth, and even more so, right? Like they're one of the founding members. OG Kush, Turf Moor, dude, is the first grounds in England to have floodlights. Like they are founding member, and they have it, dude. It's like playing a team from the 1880s, you know, with a little bit better fitness, but like it's basically the same idea.
So they're giving you the 4-4-2
physicality, hard as nails, dude. That team, well drilled. Chris Wood, just like I never look forward to playing them. It's it's a slugfest, dude.
Nick Pope in net, Tarkowski on the back line. I mean, they're the two banks of four, so they'll be well organized. This could be tough. Injuries, Paul Pogba getting a new haircut. Martial wants to leave the club, and Lindelof unfortunately got tested positive for COVID. So the COVID situation still happening at Manchester United. It's absolutely insane. Given those injuries, sir. Also, Bruno Fernandes got his 5th yellow card versus Newcastle. He will miss the next game. That's a big miss. Bruno usually plays every game, but I think after this one, he needs a rest. Not the worst situation. What is your lineup, sir? Who are we playing against Burnley?
We got De Gea in net, AWB, Maguire, Bailly, Shaw, Matic, Donny van de Beek, Anthony Elanga, Cavani, Greenwood, Sancho, sir. Who you got?
You got Dave Saves, world number 1 in net. Wan-Bissaka has to get a shout after Delo kind of,
wasn't great
today. Maguire, I'm going to say Varane. You got to keep those two together. They need the fitness. Luke Shaw's going to come in because Luke Shaw, he's a player, got to be moving forward. Telles has got a lot of action. Then Fred, Donny, I'm going to say Ahmad, Cavani, Greenwood, and Sancho, right? You put Ahmad on the left, you put Sancho on the right, or you can flip-flop that, and then you put Cavani and Greenwood up top in that 4-2-2-2. I think Fred and Donny, you got to see Donny in there because I think the midfield was the biggest issue. Fred, when he looks that bad, we cannot get anything going, and that's what I think Rangnick in his post-match presser talked. When we had possession, we were giving it away. Fred gave it up so much in critical spots early in the game, and we got to see Donny in there with him.
And you know what? And some of it's going to be forced. Donny's actually probably going to get to play in his preferred number 10 position. Bruno, obviously, not being able to feature, like you said. Looked out of sorts today. He gave the ball away quite a few times, had a couple magic passes, as he is known to do. But he'll get a rest. you're going to need some monsters, right? You need Matic. You'd like to have McTominay fit. He might not be ready. He looked like he went off injured because they're just a big, solid team of lads. And you got to be ready for a battle. So I need a game to get this taste of bad ham out of my mouth, because that's what it tastes like. After watching that Newcastle match, so I got like it's bad ham taste. I need like some sweet chocolate in this Burnley match. But I think I'm going to get more bad ham, probably.
I'll tell you what, it could be worse. It could be worse. This is a season we fired our manager.
I know.
And we're discussing top four. We're discussing the opportunities we have in front of us, right? And we've already gotten rid of our manager. One that, coming into the season, no one would have thought we would have gotten rid of him that early. So anytime you're in a season that you have to sack your manager, usually it's throwaway. And this is not yet a throwaway season. So it honestly could be worse. Situation like the eye test is bad, but we got a guy who knows what he's doing in Rangnick, and you got to hope for the best, because most often if you're at this point in the season and you've already axed your manager, sir, it's usually much worse than this. And we're playing Hans and Franz next year, and we got a shot at it. So we should be thinking a little glass half full, because this is a low. Newcastle, Norwich, we got away with it. Newcastle even got away with it, and Burnley might be the death nail, sir. I don't know, but we're getting away with it. You got to think it could be worse. Anytime you fire your manager, usually you're not doing, you don't have the opportunity for European football. Booking the bookies, Burnley plus 800. We're heavy favorites minus 280. The draw plus 390, sir. Given those the odds, what is your score prediction?
So I think 1-0. I think we tough it out. Burnley batter us, but we got a late pen. Ronaldo scores it. Sir, tell me what you got.
0-0.
0-0. Can't wait.
0-0. And I think, honestly, that's a win, really, at this point. Clean sheet.
They're like 17th place. They're not great.
Pope has a game. We show a little more fight. We're not great, but, we sort of get it done. That's my prediction, sir. Let's get into the news.
Not great. There you go.
Sir, United in the news.
Try it.
We don't have our music.
There we go. Let's go.
Doing it live. United in the news.
This is a headline.
Alex has trouble hitting the button on the soundboard.
Read this headline. Sorry, I have trouble with a lot of things.
Dun, dun, dun. Manchester United's Anthony Martial wants to leave, but no clubs are interested.
Isn't that a great headline? I was like, that's amazing.
I mean, Rangnick in the pregame presser for Newcastle said, "We spoke at length. He explained to me he's been at Manchester United now for 7 years, and he feels like it's the right time for a change, to go somewhere else." And Rangnick said, "I think it's understandable. I could follow his thoughts, but on the other hand, it's also important to see the situation of the club." So look, Tony Martial, his agent's been talking, and then Rangnick said, "I haven't talked to him." Now Martial, he stepped up and said something to the manager. That's something. I again, you wouldn't think Martial and his agent are that dumb to just shout, I want to leave," with not having an interested party. But again, desperate men. Sir, desperation's a bad cologne. Tony Martial, it's one of those where new manager comes in, you want to leave before you even get a chance to. He could be the starting number 9 for Manchester United. I don't understand why. I rate Tony Martial when he has the high work rate and when he's motivated. And to think that he's just going to go another team, everything's going to work out for him, that seems like a strange one. You got a new manager, you can make the squad. He could be the starting number 9. We have aging number 9s in Ronaldo and Cavani. We have young with Greenwood, Rashford. Rashford's not playing well. Greenwood, is young. Why can't Tony Martial step into the spot? This is his team to lead. He's the perfect age. Why wouldn't he want to fight for his spot? It makes zero sense. If Rangnick said, "Hey man, I don't like you. You're no good." Rangnick came in, he specifically called out how he liked Tony Martial, so he was a great player, and he doesn't want to try to play for this man. I don't get it. I don't think he's surrounded by the right people, because you should be doing everything to fight for your spot, because this is a winnable number 9 slot, and Tony Martial could be the man for Manchester United. For him to say, "I'm good," that's a weird timing. I've never seen this. Usually this is like a year after Rangnick is at the wheel.
No,
he gets the job.
You see it.
No. From a general football timing,
not from a player who's been here this long, you would think.
So, if Lukaku situation with all
27, he's right in his prime. You would think perfect time for stepping into the opportunity.
Well, think about it. For Lukaku, Ole comes in, doesn't rate him, and after a year, Lukaku's like, all right, moving on. Right? After a year that Ole's got the job, and Lukaku's, I'm not part of the plan. He isn't like me. It doesn't work out. Time to move on. Not right when you get a new manager.
It was less than a year, but it was not 2 weeks. You're right. But it was
not like week 1, I'm out.
No, but
That's
this is unique, but he has a window coming up. He's probably been angling for a move for a while. He's been in the club with mixed success under a bunch of different managers, sir. If you remember, he's all the way back from Van Gaal. So he's been through quite a bunch of shit. So, dude, I don't hold any harbor against him. Also, he wouldn't make it under this manager. We all know Tony Martial. There's a decent player.
No, it's the wrong mentality from him.
He also, I don't think he's got what it takes to make it in the Premier League. Full stop. At the end of the day, he's had too many injuries. The physicality of it is no fucking joke. We've seen it, dude. We've been watching this league for 20 years now. It's no joke. And he's just dude, I wish him well. He's had some great times. Dude, we got him on the wall against the Scouse Bastards. Remember that forever. But the club that he's heard linked to is Sevilla loan deal. That sounds about right.
Mentality,
Sevilla,
sir.
He could probably score 18 goals in La Liga playing for Sevilla, dude. That's nothing wrong with that. On your way,
sir. Mentality.
Let's bring in a big time player.
This shows you that
he's not ready.
Shows
for it,
you,
of course. We knew that already.
This shows you Tony Martial's mentality. Is we have a new manager. The spot's up for grabs. He can be the man. He could be our 20-plus goal scorer every year. He has the talent. He has the ability, and he doesn't want to work for it.
What do you say to that?
He said, and you know what? One week in, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's but that's all you need to know about the character of a player.
Unfortunately.
Doesn't want to fight for his spot at Manchester United. I'm good. I want to go to Sevilla.
Sorry, he's been here for 7 years. It's not like he just joined. So it's I get it, but this is not his second manager. This is not even his third manager. Sorry, but there is a counter to every argument.
It's a clean slate. It's a new manager.
But it's another clean slate at the same club in the same country that he's been at for 7 years. So I get it, dude.
Yeah, but you have to take your opportunity. The point about it is think of the players who are in the squad with Ole.
So his fourth manager.
Do you not?
United.
Do you not?
Fourth manager in 7 years. That is an indictment of the club, though, sir. Go ahead.
Are you good?
Are you good? Well, you make your point. I was just countering your point.
Donny Van de Beek has a new lease on life at Manchester United because we have a new manager. Tony Martial has a new lease on life because we have a new manager. Every player does. It's when you have a new manager at a club, everyone starts anew, and you can't time exactly when that is. And it's what is it? Pooley came in to Chelsea under, I forget, Sarri, and then Sarri sacked, and then he has to prove it again. Everyone has a new manager, sir, and you got to prove it. And Tony Martial has an opportunity, and he doesn't want it. You have to take your opportunities if you want to be playing football at the highest level, and he doesn't want to take it. It's an opportunity. You can't pick and choose when they come. It just happens.
So I'm not defending his decision, but I also understand it because it's different. They're not the same. Because one guy was here for a year and a half, and one guy's here for 7 years. So it's his fourth manager at Manchester United. I can understand why he'd want to leave. I'm not saying I also don't think he would make it. He would be the guy under Ralph Rangnick. So that's all I'm saying. But I think he should give it a go and try and see how the next 6 months go. It'd probably up his resale value for himself anyway, and maybe go to a bigger club than Sevilla. But I don't know what's the deal with Martial, sir. I don't know what the deal is.
My whole point is, don't you think this mentality's got him to where he is?
That's
not
a bad
playing
sign.
At Manchester United.
Yes,
that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
is
this
is a red flag, man. And guess what? You know what's funny is the same attitude Lukaku had at Manchester United. You don't want to fight for your spot. He goes to Inter, and now he's at Chelsea, and he's kind of not. He's kind of in and out, doesn't know. And that shows you that when you have players with these types of attitudes, so you've got to be getting rid of them. And we got Lingard, we got Paul Pogba, we got Tony Martial, we got guys on the outs who are just waiting for their move and think everything's going to be sunshine and roses at a different team when the time is now. You got to be playing now, sir.
Sir, but I'll tell you what, I get it, but Martial wasn't on the pitch today, and we thought we were dog shit, and there are a lot of high-paid players with big fucking names that played terrible today. So, I don't really care about Tony Martial.
So he should be playing against Burnley.
He should, but he's not going to. He wasn't even on the 11. He might have COVID for all we know, sir, so it doesn't matter. He's not even in the squad, so he's not a factor. So he's never going to be a player. This is an indictment of his staying ability. He's not going to be a big-time player. He's not going to Real Madrid next because, like you said, at least Lukaku waited 6 months, sir, to go. Ole came in December, and he left the following summer, right? At the end of the summer transfer window, went to Inter, won the league, to be honest. But Martial said after 2 weeks, I'm out. So like you said, it is different. I think it's different. And it's also about a year and a half with Donny versus 6 years. But whatever, sir. Martial, see ya, Felicia. That's all I was trying to say. Is who cares?
No, I agree. Who cares? But if you look at the opportunity, so when you say Real Madrid probably wanted him at one point, right? A lot of big clubs wanted him at one point, and now if you look at the insane fixture list, like he should be starting against Burnley, and we need someone to score goals, and he could be the man. And he's literally like, I'd rather talk to my agent and push for a move in January. That's risky for your career, and he's not going to get that opportunity. And as a fan, I like him. That's why I'm confused. And that's why I've been perplexed about his attitude generally the last couple of seasons. And here we have it. He doesn't even want to fight for his spot. I get it, personal stuff, but it's a tough one. So what is it? Is it the players or is it Manchester United that fails the players? Because this is my say, like you said it, right? 6 years, he might be done with this club because there might be more shit going on behind the scenes, which is why players are having trouble succeeding here, sir. We talked about it. It's like, we're like the Death Eater club. Like we sign people and ruin them. It's like this is a cycle that happens. Like he might go somewhere else and ball out for all we know. And this is just one of those frustrating things where there's a player here, sir. There was a player here and something didn't go right. It could be on Tony. It could be on us. I don't know. And there's too many of these players that, that don't hit their stride at Manchester United. Maguire's one of them. Pogba's one of them. Lukaku's another one. Something about United, I don't know what it is, if it's the big wages, if it's the shit locker room dynamics, but this is one that I have a bad taste because I think there's a player there, and I think we need a player of his age in that position, and I don't trust the Glazers to sign one, and we're not going to sell him for a lot of money, so this is an L. This is an L for him and for us, and that's why I'm pissed.
Dude, but it's another L. It's a huge L, and I know you're pissed, and this is getting heated, and the reason that I think we both have a valid argument, and there's an argument for what you're saying, there's an argument for what I'm saying, is I can get his stance, bro. I could see what Tony is saying and why he wants to fucking leave, bro. Because like I said, 4th manager in 7 fucking years. That is not a good look for any club. And remember, they signed Van Gaal. He was a new manager when they signed him in his first transfer window. Last ditch
saloon. I like the chant. All right.
Dude,
I like the chant.
He's on the wall, bro. I always like Tony Martial. He's literally, sir. Tony Martial. I love Tony Martial. But this sucks, and it sucks because we are always rooting for him to be the number 9. And like you said, I get that argument. Like, he should step up and be the guy.
Mean mugging Martial, man.
Dude, he has it. You're right. He'll probably go to Sevilla and do quite well.
Sir, it's good to be back in the bunker, getting fired up. Extra spicy. Let's go. Let's argue out Martial some more. I love it. Sorry, it's good to be. What it is. I'll tell you, we do the remote pods. There's a lot going on.
With Venom, this guy's like, let's go, bro.
Like, here we can actually make physical contact. I can kind of elbow this guy right here.
I'll tell you what. Who wants to play for the club? This guy wants to play for the club.
Let's go. Ilonga signs a new deal. 2026, sir. Slam dunk. Ilonga. Hey, Murtaugh's earning something behind the scenes. Got Ilonga to sign. I think that's a good one. Rangnick also talked about Hannibal, who's off. I forget the exact age group of the World Cup he's in, Sorry, I don't follow. I know he's playing. I've seen the highlights. I can't tell you the tournament though. I'm not that deep into the international careers of our younger players, but Rangnick has said he's in his plans. He does look like a player. So I have watched the highlights. He's unbelievable. I forget if it's U18s, U23s exactly. And then another one was sort of the Old Trafford proposal.
Psych.
The article written about how, we talked about the Glazers. They said after the Super League could do all this stuff, they're going to renovate Old Trafford. Oh, by the way, the roof's still leaking.
Still.
Sorry, the roof's still leaking. It's and then they said it wasn't a leak.
I know they blanked.
The best part.
That's the best. It wasn't a leak. It wasn't a leak.
The best part about the whole thing is this is the world we live in with Ed Woodward.
I know. Fucking hell.
Is there's a leak in the stadium that's not a leak. So it's just basically there's water collecting on top of the stadium that they then need to put a leak in the stadium to then get the water out so the roof doesn't fall down. And then they come out with a proposal for renovating Old Trafford, which is really we discussed we looked at a plan, but there is no plan. Basically.
We're knocking around ideas.
There's a lot of hubbub in the press. And you should remember who prints this shit because Woodward's literally make it look like we're going to do something when they're doing absolutely nothing. So the plan is basically over a long period of time, we might do something to the stadium, but we're not going to do a big play somewhere else for 2 years and redo everything because that would cost a lot of money. And the Glazers kind of want to kick this can down the road as long as possible to whoever they sell the club to, and then they'll fix it. Because at the end of the day, there's no way that they're going to take $1 billion out of their trust fund and put it into a stadium because they don't give a fuck about this team and they don't give a fuck about the fans. #Glazers out, sir.
No, they don't. They don't. This is just giving off the appearance of doing something, bro. This is like, you get together the holidays with your in-laws and everyone's talking about, we miss each other. We're getting everyone back together, doing those ambitious like family reunions, and then 6 weeks later, 2 months later, ain't nobody planning nothing. So they're just talking about it, just like, we have that leak. Yeah, we're gonna build it. We're gonna rebuild this whole damn thing, and they're just trying to get this thing back into a position of status so they can sell it off for parts, probably.
So what
always,
James Ducker said, one of the proposals is...
I'll have no guarantees. No guarantees.
They say, one of the proposals as part of the Old Trafford modernization and potential expansion is a small second stadium where women's and academy teams could play matches. Now, so the whole thing about the Glazers are going to do the minimum viable investment to get the best reaction, because they'll come up with like a 10-part plan and they'll spend the least amount of money to do like phase one of it, and they're going to try to sell the club to basically, they'll put the plan in place and they'll parade it around, but as far as the actual money being put to do the plan, this stadium is not going to get a renovation anytime soon. And what it really needs, honestly, it needs like what Madrid is doing. They got to literally play somewhere else for 2 seasons, redo the whole thing, like $1 billion renovation.
$1 billion.
For me, I like the stadium as is. Honestly, I don't think they need more seats. I think they just need to sort of retrofit it a little bit. I like the old gritty feel of the stadium, honestly. I like the look of it. I don't really want to change the appearance of Old Trafford. It just really needs sort of just a little bit of updating. Maybe, and obviously the roof doesn't need to.
It needs love, bro. It needs some love. It's the greatest fucking club in the world. It's the greatest club in the world, bro. And even like when they built it, like the modern version in the early 90s, like it needs some love, bro. It needs a couple $100 million of love. And like you said, the Glazers are going to put together some incredibly ambitious plan, multiple parts and
they don't fund,
over 10 years. And they'll just do like they'll redo like Carrington, and they'll do like some new paint and like the bare minimum. And that's all it's going to be. It's just like smoke and mirrors and the PR machine, like working overtime, sir. But Old Trafford, hey, we got our tickets, but that's just still gonna leak. So bring a jacket.
Got our tickets.
Bring a jacket.
We got our tickets.
Bring a jacket.
Jumping into fan questions here, sir.
Are people salty?
At United Dondo, quote, "We did not look clinical. In the moments that we had the ball, we couldn't produce that final ball to get us through. Sancho made a huge difference in the second half. Rashford looks very out of it lately. Lucky to get out of that with a point thanks to De Gea." I mean, that's a great point. De Gea and then a Rashford. We talked about it during the game. We thought Rashford would come back post-injury and be flying, and it is the opposite, sir. I don't know what's wrong with Marcus. He needs a bench. He needs a rest. He needs something. He'll find form. Sir, I believe in Marcus Rashford. I believe in Mason Greenwood. But Marcus Rashford just, someone's got to talk to the Monstars. His mojo is missing.
You say that about a lot of players. I think most Manchester United fans would agree with you. We're all rooting. No, there's a player in Marcus Rashford, but he looks out of sorts. He hasn't looked this out of sorts since he debuted, sir. He just looks like, I don't know. Monstars, call him up. They got something.
At Fergie _time_7, quote, "This squad of players is fucking embarrassing. Pulling no punches, sir. That's pretty harsh." At Dave Paz, "There are no excuses for that absolute rubbish." According to Dave, we've all lost our jobs at the excuse factory working overtime. At Marin _805, quote, "The tactics during possession are ridiculous. It's either pass the ball square or back. Players are afraid to go forward. Quick pass with the ball. We look like an ASO team kicking 20-plus yards forward. Hopefully somebody's there." I totally agree. It's like we can't get the square and backwards passing out of our system. Even if we were failing and just being aggressive, trying to play it through, trying to pass it forward, we're just not doing that. It's almost like Rangnick has told them what to do, and they're just ignoring it. I mean, like, it's one of those things where that looked like a defeated man in the interview.
No, that was what's worrying, is like how much there had been some kind of like excitement in our boy Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph, those initial games where he was encouraged by some of the play he'd seen. Today was brutal. This is a brutal performance against the shit side, and the manager didn't look very confident because there's going to be some turnover in this squad, I think is what is this. The forecast I'm feeling is that change is coming.
At Sunny SoCal Rob 25, "It's performances like this, which is why I drink." Hashtag have a dark ale. And then at Thenicus Maximus, I mean, probably with the tweet of the day here, quote, "I dream of a day where this team can step on the pitch and play as a team rather than a collection of individuals. We have the body of a Rolls Royce and the engine of a Toyota Yaris. We're all shine, sir. No grind. That's what they say. All shine, no grind here for Manchester United. And we got to get back to focusing on the engine, playing for the man next to you, sir, putting in tough challenges, making your mark, letting people know. I just feel like Sir Alex back in the day, and we say, if you listen to us, it's just sad, but it's just like
nostalgia machine.
He would tell you, put your mark on a man. Let them know they're coming to Old Trafford. Let them know it's a derby. Let them know you're there. And I don't think we let Newcastle know that we were there today. It was just a collection of individuals trying something, and it wasn't working. And you could tell when they start whinging and complaining. Sir, I'm over 25% Portuguese. I can whinge. I can put my arms up. That's what they do on the peninsula, the Iberian Peninsula. Players come from different places. They do different things. But at the end of the day, you didn't see that collective fight from a team. We got this. Dig in. Let's go. It just felt like individuals.
No, and that's why I think there might be like a call. There's a mentality that needs to be reinstilled that this club has been built on since the earliest days, sir. Since Newton Heath, this team has been built on grit, hard work, dedication. We need to go back to that, dude. It's like we need, like you said, I love that line. Engine, bro. We need to rebuild the fucking engine, and it takes just hard work and grind. And the game, we knew this game, and I'm going to call it a loss because not getting 3 points today against Newcastle is a loss after the time we've had off and the opponents that we're going to have after these easy matches. And now it's just like, sir, we got to build into the form. And Burnley ain't an easy match. It's not like playing Leeds where they're going to give you plenty of chances on the break. It's like Burnley's going to be rough, bro. And we need a win.
Sir, when you're playing like we are, there are no easy matches. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We got to sort our house out. We got to sort out the internal combustion engine that is Manchester United. That's it, sir. That's the podcast. Another spicy one in the bunker. We hope everyone had a great holiday. You like the American Red Devils, you can support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/American Red Devils. Please check it out. Also, check out our website, www.americanreddevils.com. Click on store, blankets, hoodies, beanies, scarves, sir. We got awesome posters as well with our logo. Unbelievable stuff. Please check it out. Everything you buy supports this small-time operation so we can come to the podcast bunker and yap away because the wives would rather have us working, sir. So, it's nice little break, even though we get heated in the bunker to just, talk football, talk shop.
Sir, I'll tell you what.
This guy's been working.
Lucky man. I'm going back to work. As soon as you press stop on that recorder, I'm back to work, bro. I'll be got your dancing shoes on. How we doing?
So this guy, fastest tap dancer in the land. You want to give us our top 10 cities last 7 days?
Speaking of dancing, number 1, how you doing? Houston, Texas, Maghull, UK, Omaha, Nebraska, Oslo, Norway, Brooklyn, New York, Orlando, Florida, Tacoma, Washington, Coppell, Texas, Littleton, Colorado, and last but not least, Telford, UK. Appreciate all the American Red Devils listening week in, week out. Sorry for the salty pod. Sorry for all the profanity. Couldn't help it. Just a typical Muppet watching that today. I'm not sure a lot of us enjoyed what they saw. That was rough.
It's a tough look. As a supporter of a team, tough year. Tough season.
Tough season.
Anytime you sack your manager, you're not like bragging about how great your team's doing to your friends. You're watching your rivals climb up and play great football. I mean, this is just back against the wall stuff for Manchester United as fans. Never say die. We'll never die, Manchester United, till I die. We will be back, sir. And the sweet wins taste so sweet without the bitter, like we say on the pod. And Newcastle 1-1. It ain't a loss.
Ain't a loss. You say there's a chance. We're turning things around, sir. We're not playing Hans and Franz ball. We always have that.
Hey,
until next year.
We always got our great pass. We've seen it all, sir. We won the lot. We'll leave you with this one. Everyone have a great week. On to Burnley.
Let's go.